What's good? How you doing, everybody? Welcome to my channel. This is You Too Can Be Great. So I'm gonna do 2 reviews. I'm gonna get to Candy and again later on tonight. So I have energy and I have time because I took a mental health day out of work. So let's get into it because love after lockup is a whole lot of drama that y'all need to hear. Okay, so let's get into it. So this particular episode that just did episode 9. I'm gonna start off with the slow couples first, and I'm gonna get to the real juicy one as we go along. So we have Branwen and Chaz. Chaz and his 4'7" ass decided to go and date Branwen. Her, she got the white girl thing, the blonde hair, she's like a stripper with big ass titties, she got the Botox in her face, she got the thick injection in her lips. This motherfucker on his 4th marriage decided to marry somebody who was way out of his motherfucking league, right? So now she's out and she's going to do what she's going to do. She's going to go into his pockets and make sure that she digs deep and uses him for all he has with the pretense that she can actually maintain a relationship with somebody that she's not physically attracted to. And then when she's done doing that, then she's going to come to the realization that she wants to be with her ex, the one who actually did something to throw her inside prison in the first place, but she's still legally married to Chaz, who she knows has the money. Now, Branwen seems like a sweet girl, but her mindset is, I've been to prison for 11 years. I've been on drugs for so long, and I've dated a specific type of person, the bad boy guys, the guys that are tall, handsome, sexy, into fast money. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to hustle this money to go ahead and spend and not save, not worry about retirement, not have a 401k, not worry about who the hell's gonna take care of you when all that cuteness, withers away and you get to 50-something years old, because your ass cracks, okay? What black don't crack, but your face is gonna start cracking soon enough, and that cuteness is gonna be gone. She's not thinking about none of that. But that's who she's used to dating. So now she finds herself with Chaz, and she's now like in this la-la land where even the way that she kisses Chaz is almost as disgusting to watch. My husband got his ass right up and walked the fuck away when he saw them kissing each other. He has no lips compared to hers. She got thick lips. He's trying to kiss her, but he goes in with his tongue out, trying to choke her. He doesn't even, and y'all wanna know how long my tongue is? Is that it? Just, my husband loves it. And I haven't eaten anything today, so excuse me. But yeah, so that's who she's with. In their situation, she now has her daughter, 19 years old. She's missed 11 years of her life. That's half her life. She wasn't there to raise her. Her daughter is now essentially doing the same thing that she was doing when she was her age. She's stripping into the fast life, fast money. I mean, Branwen said there was a whole point where she was making like 3 bands a day. So that's the type of life her daughter wants. The daughter has the blonde, kind of like grayish silk bleach blonde type hair, the things that strippers and all those rich people go to and be like, she fits the mold. She has a nice body, blonde hair. She just look pretty. That's the life that the daughter's already introducing herself to. And Branwen, as a mom who does love her daughter, regardless of what her past is, does not want her daughter to make the same mistakes by putting herself in the same environment that would eventually put her in the position to where she's going to start doing drugs. Hold on a second. Hey, the baby's sleeping. So yeah, so you want to kind of consider, she wants to her daughter to consider all that and not make the same mistake. So it was nice to kind of see them interact. Her daughter seems to be more sensible though. Her daughter, what's her name? Arian? Arian was like, my mom just met this guy. It doesn't look like the type of guy that she's normally used to dating. He doesn't look like the type of person that can even sponsor her life the way that she's used to spending money. I'm not about to move myself up and get up and go to another state, even though I want to have a relationship with her. I'm not going to uproot my life and what's going on for somebody that doesn't even look like it fits with my mom. And Arian probably knows that her mom is using the man. So she's just going to stay quiet and let whatever is best for her mom, she's going to do. Because she also uses men for money when she's at a strip club. I mean, hell. So that was their scene. The mom went to the hairdresser. She got her hair done, got the little gray, silver, cute style, bleached blonde hair. They go out to eat and his card gets declined. Soon, Branwen is going to decline Chaz. Even though Chaz is still waiting for them to consummate their relationship and consummate their marriage, she didn't have time to go to his house so they can have sex or the hotel. She had time for her to take him to the hairdresser, for him to take her to the hairdresser so she can get her hair done and he can swipe the card. Lord. So then we get to the next couple. Chance and Taylor. Chance, as we learn, is Brad Pitt's cousin. He said something along the lines of his grandfather is Brad Pitt's grandfather's brother. So there is a genuine bloodline linkage between them. But Chance is a huge difference in age with Taylor. She's like 26, he's like 41. He's been to prison for a long time. And Chance, when he first came into the house, being a grown man who doesn't provide, who wasn't working at the time, had a lot of things to say about Taylor's sister, Bobby, who has a previous drug history, living with her, and why she's not on her own and feeling like she was being codependent and whatnot. Chance ran his mouth, and Bobby ended up leaving for 3 weeks because she felt like they were talking shit about her, which rightfully so. You don't just go into prison when you're not the one that's been here helping Taylor take care of her 3 kids since the baby father died, and then come into the house and try to talk shit and act like you know some shit when you don't even know what the fuck is going on. So Chance is now trying to make up for all the trials and tribulations he didn't put Taylor through, since Bobby, their home care, babysitter, nanny, housekeeper, everything had been left. Then he decides to do so is to go and buy her a $500 ring because he wants to propose to her. Chance took his friend with him, and the friend did say that Chance is not known for keeping a healthy relationship or keeping an extensive relationship. So for him to try and go and try to propose to Taylor, it's a little bit skeptical. And of course, when Bobby decides to come back into the house, Taylor's been missing her, wanting her to come home. Chance goes to apologize to her, and Bobby's very clear that this is a little bit of a quick step. Yeah, you're good with the kids, and yeah, I've seen you, the kids love you, you know, whatnot, but it's not necessarily the best option for you now that you're at the pen. You have, you know, you really haven't gotten your feet wet. You're working, you know, a job that pays $20 an hour, cool. But Brad, why don't you go help this dude out? I mean, is he that much of a fuck up that you can't help him out? If he's your cousin, you better help lift him up. He's over here making $20 an hour and getting somebody a $500 ring. You'd better help this man out. But at the end of the day, he did buy the ring. And he did ask Bobby for her blessing. Bobby gave the blessing. But if he continues to keep fucking up or keep running his mouth, she's going to break that marriage up. She'll be the one in the audience that they say, does anyone here have objections to this marriage? And she's going to get up and say, I object. This motherfucker don't need to be married to my cousin. Hell, I'd rather Brad Pitt be the one to marry her, not you. Then we have, who's next? Rick and Radine's clusterfuck of a mess. Okay, so Radine and Rick, first of all, I can't seem to get past their teeth. I find it very hard to get past that teeth. Radine's teeth, I'm sorry to say, looks like empty train tracks. Like they just holes in between left and right. And I know that that's usually a side effect of using drugs, heavy drugs. Then you get to Rick's. Rick doesn't seem like he's, you know, he has heavy drug use, but somehow he doesn't know how to use Colgate because his teeth is extremely yellow. It's like, I can't believe it's not butter. It's just extremely yellow. And you can just see the plaque that's just building. You know, I feel like when you make out with him, you're probably licking last month's breakfast. It's very difficult to look at that teeth. So I'm thinking, please, as nice as Rick is, do something about that fucking teeth, okay? Then, in addition to that teeth issue, you got Radine, who's clearly playing Rick for anybody that's paying attention to the show, okay? Radine came out. Obviously, she didn't tell Rick that she had a girlfriend. Actually, she didn't tell Rick she had a wife. Okay, she's over here talking about, no, she's my girlfriend. Katie's my girlfriend. I'm not letting her go. She already told Rick while he was sending all that money for 4 years supporting her broke ass in the pen that she was going to live with him. He prepared had his roommate prepare like a house for her to come in. He didn't wine and dined her, got her in the hot tub, bought her a bathing suit, bought her a $250 jacket that she had the nerve to sit up there in the store and say, it's only $250, bitch. If it's only $250, you can pay for it your damn self. But he's the one that's coming out of his pocket. So don't sit up there and look at anything. I don't care if it's 50 cents. You don't sit up here and say, it's only 50 cents. Well, bitch, pull the 50 cents out your damn pocket instead. But she's now doing that. Rick is getting a little bit frustrated because I think Rick in his mind is feeling like, once I dick you down, once I use my tongue and use that in circles, you know, get in that clit, you know, just flip my head left and right and just get in there. You're supposed to not want Katie, okay, to be out here eating your puss. But Katie is still incarcerated. So she's not even out here to give you what I'm giving you. Why am I competing with a bitch that's behind bars? Okay, that's not taking care of you, spending money on you, doing nothing. Radine's parents already warned her to not be used. Don't use Rick. We know you used people before. Don't use this man because they've gotten to know him. He seems like a nice person. But here is Radine ignoring all her parents' advice and Rick getting fed up with her behavior. Hush your mouth, boys. So they're now finished the hot tub. And then Rick and Radine are sitting up in a motorcycle and Rick is getting fed up. The phone rings. It happens to be Radine's father that's calling her, not Katie. Radine hasn't heard from Katie in a long time. So it's kind of ironic that she's screwing Rake, but she's stressing. And we find out that Katie is not just her girlfriend. Katie is her wife, because she calls the correction officers, the correction building, talking about, I haven't heard from my wife in a long time. And the producers are like, that's your wifey? And she's like, oh yeah, I haven't told him because I'm not ready to be the bad guy. No, bitch, you're not ready to look like you're the type of person that used this man for years, had him sending you money from the little money he does have. Rick is basically like Social Security type level. Hey guys, can you excuse me, please? Go away. So I'm sorry, my family just ain't listening. They're just not. I'm stuck with a bunch of boys and testosterone, not one of them understand the significance of my hard work. Okay? I'm the mom. Hush your mouth. So let's get to this situation. So producers over here, Radin, calling Katie in the pen, talking about, I haven't heard from my wife in a long time. They ask her, you're married? She goes, yeah, that's one detail I forgot to tell Rick. So first of all, you forgot to tell Rick the detail that you had a girl, that you were actually having somebody, a girl, that you said it was your girlfriend first. Now we find out that that's your wife. So you're here taking this man's money. He just bought you a $250 jacket. Your parents then told you not to play him. You still playing him. And you gonna sit up here and tell us that you married? You're literally a hoe. There's no way to put it. You're a hoe. Number one. Number two, you're using this man who seems to be nice. Like, he seems to be like a nice, decent person. And Rick has every right to ask the questions that he's asking, to not trust her, to wonder why she's changing everything that they had made, all the plans they made in prison, wanting to stay home to their parents' house, come to my house when you want some piece of ass and when you buy you something, and then go home. So he's now getting fed up because he's looking kind of bitch-like. So he wants to say something, and now Radine is gaslighting the fuck out of him. I'm so tired of having the same conversation over and over again. I'm just want to make decisions for my life and for myself. I'm not getting rid of Katie. And then Rick calls her, when the dad, Radine's dad calls her, he's thinking that it's Katie. This man says, how's your pet prison, or your prison pet? Or he calls her like a prison pet. And so that sets Radine off, because she obviously cares about her wife more than she cares about Rake. She gets mad and said, don't ever call her that. She's a good person. She ain't never done nothing to you. And as she's saying she's a good person, I'm thinking, well, she's in prison. She had to do something to be in prison in the first place. Good person doesn't necessarily depict her. Yeah, I know people can make mistakes and people can be forgiven, and maybe they are decent human beings, but why she's still behind bars and haven't exactly come out to be a productive member of society, that's not a good argument, okay? Because you're using a good person to describe your wife who's still behind bars, maybe come out 4 years from now, to describe her to a man that's catering to you out in the real world, was the one sending you money, providing for you, taking care of you, and you over here yelling at him, trying to talk about, I can't wait to slap you. I want to slap you. So she walks away, gaslighting, and then Rick's best friend / roommate now comes in to check this bitch. Like, I don't think that you care about him like you do. You say you do. You don't want to claim him on Facebook. You don't want to tell people that you're with him. You want to sit here and let him be your secret, where you give him sex with your fucked up ass teeth, but you can't claim him. And you now have a girlfriend he's supposed to take, tolerate it. Now the girl is like, you don't know me. She goes, I don't know you, but I already prepped my house because of my friend Rick I cared about. I was expecting to have an additional person who's not paying fucking rent come over here and live for his happiness, and you're sitting up here playing with him. He cares about you more than you care about him, and you over here just testing his patience and shit. She gets mad, hops into her little buggy, and drives home. And I'm so happy that Rick didn't chase her ass. Then we have Lacy and Antoine, and that's a whole clusterfuck of a mess as well. Lacy's situation, she's 38, and I said before in my last review, I don't know how the hell she felt like she could build a relationship with Antoine's dumbass. Antoine is 1000% a savage, like his mama said, and a child. Antoine comes out of prison, and 4 days after he's out of the pen, he doesn't go out to look for a job. He takes the money that Lacy gives him that he could have used to go and find a job, to go and get a tattoo that says WA on his face, to be as in Washington. I said, if it's not on your face, you're going to forget that you're in Washington. Is that it? What was the purpose of that shit? Why? Especially after you and Lacy have already discussed it in the past, and she made it clear to you that she don't want you to get nothing on your face. You are not only not paying any bills. What I feel like Antoine is doing is being petty. Last episode, Lacy wanted him to learn how to be an adult, have something to aspire to. She took him to a car dealership. right? He's thinking, I didn't put it down so much, even though I gave her a B average on her sexpertise. I put it down so much that she's gonna take me to a car dealership and buy me a car and put that motherfucker on her name. Lacy's like, bruh, I've been married for 20 something years. Your dick is nothing to me. I am not putting a car under my name. If you want to get this car, it's under your name. So anything that happens is your responsibility, child. You ain't finna fuck up my life or my credit. So Antoine being upset, trying to gaslight her to get her to go and buy the car. She didn't fall for it. So he now goes and gets something on his face that he knows that it will irritate her to get her back, like a child. Then he does it the day that he's supposed to go and meet Lacy's sister. So the sister's looking at him like, this little child. Sure, she calls him young man, first of all. Come here, young man. I know you're over here robbing the grave and my sister's robbing the cradle, but go ahead and sit down with your tattoo in your face. He's like sitting there, I didn't do anything wrong. Then the sister's asking him, what do you have for your future? Are you even grateful about all the things that my sister's doing for you? You know, most people that come out of prison don't have shit. So are you at least thankful? He's like, well, I gotta be grateful. For what? Like, what? I don't get it. Like, what do you mean? Not grateful. So now Lacy's feeling embarrassed. So she's like, you're acting like a piece of shit. You got that ugly ass tattoo on your face. And, you know, you act like I can't go out and find somebody that can, you know, appreciate all the things I'm doing, all the stuff I bought for them, having a nice place and da-da-da-da. And he goes, let me know how that goes. Like, basically, like, I don't give a fuck if you go and find somebody else. And he's doing this in front of the sister, embarrassing Lacy even more. The sister's like, you don't even give a fuck that she's upset. She's your girlfriend. You could have said, hey, baby, I'm sorry. Talk to her. Lacy already expressed to the sister prior to him coming that he is not the same sweet person on the phone that he was when he was in solitary confinement. Well, girl, of course he's not. He was in solitary confinement 23 hours out of the day. You were the highlight of his day. He wasn't going to fuck that shit up. Plus, you were the bank. So why would I not say anything and everything to get you to send me some money and keep calling me, because I'm in this 4 walls and I can't even go nowhere. So at least I can do is jack off to you talking to me on the phone. So now that I'm out and free, and I'm not telling you that I'm also socializing with my ex-girlfriends, which he told his mama later on in the episode. He went to see his mom. His mom is now recovering from, she's a recovering alcoholic. She now has, her alcoholism has led to her approaching to cancer, which she needs, I think, an organ transplant. And the mom, in order to get it, she has to be clean for 6 months. And he knows his mom can't do that, because when he had dinner or lunch or brunch with Lacy, the last time she ran off with the mouth saying, my son's a fucking savage, she was wasted. So he's obviously feeling some type of way. So he's like, okay, mom, I love you. You know, I want you to da-da-da-da-da. But while they're having a conversation, the mom's like, yo, all your girlfriends are calling me and they're asking if you're out. He goes, yeah, I've been talking to some of them. And the mom is like, my son has never been faithful to nobody. And I don't see him being faithful to Lacy either. But he will stay there until Lacy gives him as much money as she can. And he's going to keep talking to her like shit. So that's just what it's going to be. Then we get to Marcel and Kayla. Marcel and Kayla have the funniest arguments I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, Marcel comes out, and Marcel has been in prison for, what, 13 years? And Kayla was his financial support, was his supporter, and she really kept herself, and she really waited for him to come out, move to another state, got an apartment and whatnot, and really waited for him. Marcel, you know, he's 30-something years old. He'd been in the pen, probably have a few bitches in there that he done fucked for as long as he did. He's not out here trying to get, you know, nothing triggers him because it's not a stabbing situation or a death situation. So he's coming off a little bit selfish to Kayla, but Kayla also needs to understand that he's been gone for 13 years. So there are things that he's going to do and there's some social aspects that he's going to need to learn, but Kayla's getting pissed off at everything, right? And she is right. He's being selfish. She came out saying, hey, let's go to breakfast. He wants to go get his hair cut and he wants to do that first. And Kayla's going to have to wait for him until he's done because he's the man. And then he's demanding she clean the kitchen. She needs to not have any crumbs on the stove. He's not seeing that this bitch just came out of a whole state, found a job, got an apartment, got a place, set it up so he can come home and be set up. Instead of most people that come home out of prison after 13 years, they don't got nothing. What if your parents didn't have a house? You'd be homeless. You'd be on food stamps, walking the street. You wouldn't even have money to go to a barber. You wouldn't have a car that she's paying for. You wouldn't have a place to go set your head up. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not considering any of those things because it's been given to him. Because he expects, I already spent time, you know, telling this girl that I love her. If I give her some dick, it's enough. Like, so when they have arguments and Kayla's trying to get him to see some reason, Marcel has this attitude like, I didn't do nothing wrong. That was all you. I was on the defense. Shit, I'm the one that somebody did something to. I'm the victim in this situation. Shit, I mean, I was gone for 13 years. I didn't do nothing. I didn't do anything to get this house prepared. prepared, but shit, you were the one acting crazy, you know. Then you start yelling at me and you just, you know, saying some stuff out your mouth, like about the bills and stuff like that. Like, I wasn't feeling that. So when you went to a hotel, I said, cool, you just need to cool off. She's spending rent on the actual apartment that you just spent night on and rested and ate and chilled out while you're out here smoking cigarettes. She probably paid for it too. But you let her ass go and pay for an additional hotel. You didn't give a fuck, didn't even call her or text her or see if she was okay. Kayla, baby, you wasted 13 years of your young life. I would not do 13 years of time with no damn body. Y'all got me fucked up. Then we have Indy and Harry situation, and that is where the ding, 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 ding bell comes, because Indy's mama is a straight gangster. Yolanda, I fucks with her. Yolanda cracks me up. Okay, first of all. So Yolanda already warned Indy about leaving the state and moving for Harry's 24-year-old immature ass. And Indy was so in love that she even introduced her little girl to Harry and had her calling him daddy or papa, whatever the hell variation of dad is, because her dad wasn't around. Harry was having this whole, you know, I didn't have a father in my life, so I was going to go, you know, try to be a father to her, but I'm going to be a father to her while I'm fucking over her mom and, you know, having sex with all these different people. And, you know, I'm going to go to my baby's mama's house. You know, I don't even see my baby and I'm in and out of prison. I don't even care. I'm just going to go and say, you know, I didn't have a father. Second, Harry is just full of shit. And he thinks he's smarter than he really is. So, of course, Indy is now parked into, I mean, the situation is just baffling. It's flabbergasted. Indy left her home, uprooted her life with her child, went to another state just to get her man out. And he just kind of just let her do all that shit and gave her whatever he needed to give her for her to do it. And she now parked her ass in Harry's sister's house, Lydia. Somebody she's never met a day in her life. Her and her daughter are living there, hoping that Harry will be there to smooth over the transition. Harry is out in this bitch's house named Terry. He didn't spend time with a female he had sex with at a halfway house. He probably had sex with one of the guards in pen. So he's gone for days at a time. She don't even know where the hell he is. He's over here telling his friends it's a little bit overwhelming and he's the victim and nobody understands how he feels. But you shitting on the person that that had your back this whole time while you didn't have no money and could have been fucking out your ass to get some ramen noodles. You got somebody here who was taking care of you. So of course, this situation that's going on, Indy's feeling some type of way. She's feeling depressed. She's now understanding that the bullshit that Harry told her, we're spiritually married, was literally bullshit. So her mom, Yolanda, pops up like the popo. She shows up. She don't even know. She didn't have an address. Nobody told her where Indy went to or Lydia's house, but she showed up anyway. She came in. She was like, I want to see who the fuck this person is that screwed my daughter and my granddaughter. So she shows up. She says, Lydia, get your head out your ass. Indy, get your head out your ass. Call Harry, and I'm just going to see what's going on. Indy calls Harry. Harry's at his other sister's house, Carla. He can even come back to Lydia's house because he didn't want to obey Lydia's rules, you know, or grow up. So he went to his sister's house, Carla. And so he's now saying that Indy's got to come pick him up because he probably needs a ride. So Indy's like, sure. Then he ends it for the conversation. He goes, love you. So he now, Yolanda's like, okay, I'm going to be the one to go pick him up. And she pulls out a set of handcuffs. And she's like, oh, I bought this motherfucker too? I said, bitch, where's the gun? Because, you know, I mean, Yolanda, I don't think she was on camera. She would have had some whips. She would have had some brass knuckles. She would have had a taser. She would have had like one of those batons that you could whoop somebody's ass for real, for maybe a bat. She would have came prepared, but she's being recorded. She's not going to sit here and have some witnesses like that. But she ends up going as India to go pick up Harry. Harry gets in the car. She got her little hoodie on. She's looking out the opposite direction. Harry gets in the car. She says, as soon as he comes in, she locks the door and she looks at him. What's up? And he's like, oh shit. Because he knows his ass in the hot water. Like, how did your mama even come here without me knowing? To my sister's house, number one. Number two, how she the one picking me up? Indy probably set me up, obviously. So they're in the car. He's obviously nervous, but he's trying to protect himself. Talking about, I know this is about to be some bullshit. No, Harry is always the victim in his stories. He's never the one that does anything wrong, ever. Narcissistic ass. So Yolanda's driving around town with him in a car, driving in all the wrong directions in the dark, making sure that she drives farther and farther away from Lydia's house and Carla's house so he can walk. Then while she's doing that, she's asking him questions. So why'd you leave my daughter on? Why'd you make her think she was the only one over for her to come here and you over here like treating her like shit, number one? And when y'all argue, why you comparing her to some other bitch you're fucking? Who the fuck is Terry? Her accent was so funny. Who the fuck is Terry? I was just like, he looked at her and he was like, oh shit. This entire scene cracked me up. He couldn't even, the way that he the swag that his 24-year-old immature mind has to play young, immature Indy. Obviously, Yolanda done been around the block. She's fine as hell. She done been through all this stuff. She grown. She's not all this little spitting that you're doing, all this little, gaslighting that you're doing, this little manipulative tactics that you think you're doing where you want to make yourself seem like you're the victim and I'm supposed to fall for you. That bullshit only works on somebody that don't even have a GED. So I'm going to ask you again, why'd you play my daughter like this? Why'd you even make her? Or he's like, I didn't make her come here. I just gave her her options. Her options should not include coming out of somewhere and going through another state and moving her daughter that you're supposed to be a father to. Those weren't options that you gave her. You gave her options as in you can move here and we can be together and you can meet my sisters and it's going to be great and we're going to be Gucci and be a family. You said whatever was necessary to get this girl to come here. So far she was sending you money and now you turn out to be a complete piece of shit. And now that you're out here, so, it would have been nicer if he says, Indy, stay where you're at because when I'm going to come out here, I really like you, but I don't think that we should be in a relationship because I'm still going to want to fuck everything that walks or everything I'm attracted to, so I don't want to be spiritually married to you. But here's Yolanda checking every stupid shit that he's saying. One dumb stuff he says, she clears it out. Another dumb stuff he says, she clears that one out too. So it's kind of ironic seeing him deal with somebody who has sense that's not screaming at him like his family and he's screaming back, something he's not used to. And he can't say nothing. So she does what I would do. She stops in the middle of the road in the dark to get the fuck out my car. And he's looking at her like, what? You gonna leave me here? She's like, get the fuck out of my car because that is my child that you out here playing with. You finna walk yourself wherever you gonna go. You ain't got no money. You got maybe a phone, if that. So you can walk out here, call yourself an Uber, but you can get the fuck out of my car. I'm not taking you home. You gonna walk. And she let his ass walk and she got out. And he just looked like he was a stray in the corner. And I didn't feel bad for him at all. Indy, honey, your mama was right. You better listen to her. She knows what she's talking about. Don't let this guy digmatize you. He's playing you and you, I don't even know why she's still there. The first moment he did this shit to me, I would have been packed my stuff, took my daughter, and we would have ended that relationship because you're sitting up here still having your daughter hanging on to somebody that's clearly doesn't give a fuck. So Indy, I don't know if I feel sorry for you or if I want you to go through this so you can learn a life lesson because you need to learn a lesson the hard way because you obviously don't learn the right way. You got a mama like her. You should have listened to her. For real. All right. That's the extent of this episode. Deny, which is what Antoine said he's going to do if he fucks around on Lacey, which he will. He's going to deny. I can't wait till next week's episode. Thank you very much. You guys have a wonderful day. Go ahead and check out my next review for Marriage Boot Camp and I'll see you later.